Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. Welcome to another week of the Pretty Confident Podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Renee. None of them buzzer thingy, just do that. I'm just being extra. But what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode on the Pretty Confident Podcast. This is episode 3 that I am recording in a row. Okay? Clack it. And I hope that I can get one more in, but I honestly do not know if I will. I honestly think 3 is great. It's enough. At this point, I have 7 episodes recorded that I can edit and post and schedule ahead. So I'm super excited about that. I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to keep on going as long and as much as I can. But if I can't get through all 4 today, that's perfectly fine. Do what you can and what you feel like you have the capacity to do. Okay. Maybe I can get 4 done. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get 5. But I feel like 4 is great and 3 is great as well. It's more than 1 and I'm still recording far in advance. So I'm just trying to set myself up for success and get you all episodes while I'll be down for, after I give birth, postpartum, all of the things. And so, yeah, I feel so good. I feel so happy. The last couple episodes I recorded, I was feeling a little down. I was getting back up. But when I talk to you guys and I express my emotions and attitude and advice and wisdom and all of the things like that, I feel a little bit better. You guys, I have come up with, drumroll please. I don't know if I'll put a drumroll effect. But I have came up with my life coaching business name. And I'm not going to say it yet, okay, because I don't need anybody to steal it. I still didn't need to do my research and see if the name is taken out there, if anybody has an LLC in that name, anything like that. But I was very conscious of the name. At first I was going to do, like something feminine, like Her Confidence Co., or something along those lines, or Becoming Her, all of the things, like something along those lines. But I was like, you know what if I have men that want to get life coaching by me as well, like life coaching lessons as well. I don't want to close them off, because the name of the business will kind of tell who my audience is. And I want it to be unisex. I want you to come with your husband or your fiance or your boyfriend, like get life coaching together, get life coaching separately. Whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're, whatever. I want people of all types to come to me to get life coaching, and I don't want it to be narrowed down and only specific to one group of people, females. So yeah, I came up with a different name and I love it, and hopefully nobody else has it by the time I, go to create my own LLC and things like that. Okay. But I got to learn how to do all of that, because obviously I need to, make money from the business. And then, that's a whole nother tax thing, and I just don't know how to do all of that. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you're a new listener, thank you so much for giving me the time out of your day to either watch this or listen to this on any of the audio platforms or on YouTube, and show you what I talk about on this platform. And if you are a returning listener or an OG, thank you so much for coming back and sticking through thick and thin with your girl. But yeah, how are you guys feeling? How is this month treating you? At some point, we will be nearing the end of the second quarter. Like, that is just so insane. Can you believe we're already almost halfway through the year? It's crazy to say. I feel like January took so long to get out of the way, and then February was like over like that, and then my birthday happened and I was like, oh my goodness, and then the baby shower happened, I was like, oh my gosh, and then April happened and I'm 36 weeks pregnant at the time I'm recording this, and I'm just so freaking excited because I have 28 days or less remaining until I meet my baby girl. And I am feeling all of the feels. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I want to meet her. I want to keep her inside of me and take her everywhere with me, because as soon as she's outside of me, like, I won't always have like just a feeling of her, like actively her touching me or moving inside of my womb, all of the things like that. But you guys, I said something crazy on my TikTok, and I still think it to this day. I am going to miss being pregnant. I did not think I was going to be a pretty pregnant person by any means. Right now I have some like eye issues going on because it's allergy season. And I don't know why I thought it was still fall. Like I was like, why is it so hot and this and that outside? Maybe because we're already in April. Now, not the time that this is being posted, but baby, we are already in April. It is springtime. It's about to be summer. And I'm glad that I'll be not at work, okay, during the summer, enjoying my time with my baby. By the time I go back to work from maternity leave, it will be fall. September, okay, it will be fall. So I absolutely love that. And then we go on a cruise and all of the things. Now, you guys, I have been thinking long and hard about some things, especially with the passing of this baby shower. I don't know if people just don't come to baby showers or what, but if I invited you to my baby shower and you did not come and you did not text me that you couldn't come or give me a heads up or like reach out to me afterwards and apologize that you weren't able to make it, and you didn't buy anything off the registry and you haven't checked on me during, this pregnancy, that is kind of telling of where our relationship is going. If I could put a flush noise on here, I will. That's down the drain, okay? Because I already don't bother people. I already don't like a lot of people, doing things for me. And I don't like people, I don't like asking for things. And for me to be able to put up not one just my registry, but also invite you to my baby shower, send you the registry, or you ask for the registry or anything along those lines, and then you just not show up and not even text or call and say, like, congratulations, I'm sorry I couldn't make, like, only one person that I invited that I consider a friend text me the day of, like, before, like right before my baby shower and all of the things like that, and told me that she wasn't going to be able to make it. She bought multiple things off my, registry. Like, it's not a requirement for you to buy multiple things off my registry or even buy one thing. But if it's just all of these things compiled together, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And so I was really hurt. Like, I don't get hurt much by things and other people, but that really hurt me because I was like, dang, like I used to rock with these people, they told me they'll be here, they RSVP, yes, all of these things. And I know they got an update from the app that I used for my invitation because it sends it out a week later. And then I think like a week in advance and 2 hours before, I believe. 2 hours or 2 days, one of the two. So I'm like, I know I don't have to like reach out to you and confirm if you're still coming. If one, you said that you were going to come, you RSVP, yes. And then I have these notifications set for this invitation to send it out a week in advance, just in case anybody forgot because of how far in advance I sent it. And then 2 hours or 2 days prior to the event. So, that kind of hurt me. And then I'm over here watching the door like, oh, when these people coming in. So, that kind of hurt me. And so it kind of just opened my eyes like, honestly, do I even want to be y'all friend? And y'all, I cut people, like I am somebody, I cut people off. I don't let people get me out of my bag like at all. And that didn't get me out of my bag. I still had a fun time. I still had a blast, but I didn't have any of like my people there. And all of his people are like up north or in the Caribbean. And so it's just like we didn't have anybody there other than, our core group of people, which are my siblings, like my sister, my cousin, my little sister, and then their significant others. Is just like, it's all just family, which is perfectly fine. And that's why I always come back to the statement where I don't know why I always like try to make friends or try to like look for friends or, miss the feeling of having friends, because honestly, my mother and my auntie birthed my friends. Like, I don't even know what to say. Cause then after that, we went back to my house and, we just kicked it and everybody had fun, which I love that for everybody. But it was just so like kind of devastating to be like, oh my goodness, like, these people that I don't get to see a lot of the times because of distance and because we don't work together anymore. I invited them, they promised they'd be there, they didn't get anything, and they didn't come, and they didn't text me, and I posted since on social media, and I've seen these people see my stuff. It's just like, now I want to unfollow you. Now I want to unfollow me from you for you. Like, I no longer want you to be my follower. I don't want to be your follower. And like, we can just cut it right there. But I haven't unfollowed anybody yet because I feel like, Sierra, is that being unreasonable? Is that being, too harsh? Is that being too hot-headed? Is that being like all of these things? And I just don't know. And so I feel like once I unfollow you, once I make that decision, the decision is done. The decision is over with. Like, there's nothing else to come back from. There's nothing to talk about. None of that. So, okay, I was like, let me make sure these microphones are still charged, because I know I charged them last time, and I was like, this is the third episode. But yeah, I don't know. You guys, tell me how you guys would feel and how you guys would go about the situation. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I am not somebody that, one, does confrontation, and two, I feel like if I cut you off, you should have known what you did. Or, sometimes I don't even feel like I owe you an explanation unless you really care and just completely oblivious to what you did. But I just feel like that's like super effed up. And so now I have an idea of who I will and won't be inviting to my wedding. But I will say, for a split second, I asked my husband that same night, I said, should we even have a wedding at this point? Because honestly, it's either going to be all of my family from like out of town, or, people from church, or older people that I don't know, because majority of the people that was there was people that it was literally family. My one best friend, Josh, that I haven't seen in like years. Like, that is my longest friendship. And we've been friends since high school. But, I was super excited to see him. And then it was like just people that either my parents knew or that my grandma knew. And it was just so, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it was just so like, it was just such an eye opener. And so I'm like, okay, if I invited you, you didn't say anything, or I invited you and you didn't come, like all of the things, you're now not invited to my wedding. Like, even if people don't come to baby showers, it's more respectful to tell the person that invited you that, hey, yeah, I know I said I was coming at first, but I'm no longer coming. But for one person out of like 5 people to do that, it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to say like it's betrayal. I don't want to say it was a stab in the back, but it was very like emotionally jolting, because I was like, yes, these people said that they were going to come. I don't have to worry about them. They always pull up. And then they didn't pull up. No messages. No, nothing. So it was just, that's why I don't like depending on people. That's why I don't like, I just don't like expecting anything from people. And so when some people tell me, well, oh, you need to, ask for help, or reach out and do this and do that, it's just like, why? Because I'm just going to be let down. And so I hate being let down. So I'd rather just do everything myself or not include anybody else at all. So, I don't know. You guys comment down below what you guys would do and how you guys would feel. Maybe I'll do a video on TikTok about this. I don't know. That segues me into one other thing before I get into this episode. For TikTok, for Instagram, since I'm not promoting like what I'm saying in these episodes on social media, I've been thinking about just doing like really, really short form, like 30 seconds to a minute or two on particular topics that I've done on the podcast, and just doing like a quick video, like me sitting here and talking, but because this is landscape, right? Portrait, and talking to the camera and doing all of that, and then posting it on my podcast TikTok, my podcast Instagram, and my podcast YouTube. So I don't know. I'll get into that, and I'll think about that here soon, because I feel like I'm not going to get the back done up how I want to just yet, because I'm so focused on getting everything that I need for my baby girl, that, it's probably going to be a while before I have everything set up back there, get new mics, get new lighting, all of the things like that. So more concerned about her rather than setting up, something that is not necessary, because I can honestly still record and still do my podcast and everything like that, without that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into today's episode. If you can't tell by the title, okay, be mindful of the access that you give to people. All right. This goes for anything. Your information on who you are as a person, information on your relationship, things about your job, things about your personal life. When you're talking to people at your job, any of those sorts of things. I'll start off with an example that I thought was insane for this woman to post on social media. But, people will not have the information. People will not have certain knowledge about you or your situation if you do not give them the access to it. The only way they get access to it is if you give somebody untrustworthy access to certain information. They go tell somebody else. I've already had that happen. And then, you're just talking too much and giving people access to you that they necessarily do not need. Okay. But when I saw this situation happen on TikTok, and then her following but her following post to what happened was even crazier. I was like, you gave us access to this information. You gave the world access to this information. You're mad at the world for using the information, for talking about the information that you gave them. And you're saying it messed up your relationship, it messed up your marriage. Not possible. You were the one who put this stuff out on social media. So let me give you all the background. Okay, let me get you guys closer. If you're watching this, what's up? We're now in each other's face. But anyway, this woman recorded herself going outside to her husband's car, and she was banging on the car window, and he was inside the car asleep. She asked him, why are you outside in the car asleep? Why didn't you come in? Just mouthing off. He said, I don't want to come inside and sleep because I cannot rest there. I cannot sleep there. I cannot relax in the house. So the best thing I can do is sleep in my car to get some sleep after work. And she was just going off and off and off to him. And, well, you need to come. Oh my light turned off, but we're still going to do this thing. Like I said, this is my third episode recording. So if you're watching this and you saw the light kind of dim out, we're just going to keep on moving. But she was like, well, you need to come in the house, and why don't you feel like, you can't sleep, you can't rest there? Like, she never at any point in that video asked him why he feels like he cannot sleep inside the house, why he feels like he cannot rest inside of the house, why he feel like he has to sleep in the car to get any sort of rest. And so that just goes to show, when you are in these relationships and you are more concerned with your comfortability and what you want and what you want the other person to do for you, instead of what they have going on and what they may have, going on in the back of their mind or at work or anything like that. And you are not keyed into that. You are showing that you hold yourself more important to, you hold yourself as most important in the relationship compared to that other person. So when you do that and the other person is constantly trying to make you happy, and they're constantly putting themselves as second pedestal, behind you, they can get tired out. They can get burnt out, especially if you are not pouring back into them. And so I kind of felt for that man. Like, I was like, dude, you need to divorce her because they are married. But she posted that stuff on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, on TikTok or whatever. And towards the end, she was like, so are you not going to come in the house? He just explained to you why he's not going to come in the house to go to sleep. So then she goes, well, I'm just going to come in here and sit next to you. He goes, oh my God. Like, you could hear him right before she ends the video. But it just sounds like he gets no peace inside of that house, whether he's in the house, like he's either getting bothered or, bombarded with questions and being like, he cannot rest. And so he doesn't have any type of social media. He's not on social media. He doesn't have any social media. And so he never saw this video. Now, the one social media he does watch or listen to is the Joe Budden podcast or whatever. And so, like I said, people would not have access to things unless you give them access to it. She posted that video online. Obviously, it blew up. There's controversy. There's, people on people's sides and people that have opinions and everything like that. So they caught wind of the episode of the whatever the video she posted. So they started talking about it on the platform, on the podcast. And because he does what? Watch and listen to the podcast, he knew that situation was about him. Because he has friends that does what? Watch and listen to the podcast. They were reaching out to him saying, hey bro, is this you? Is this you? Is this you? Okay, so my husband came up here, so definitely had to say hey to him. He just woke up. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, the podcast that he watched, his friends caught wind of it. He caught wind of it. After they're listening to the whole situation of what went down, they're like, oh snap, this is about bro. And I don't know if his friends had social media or what, but if they did, then they probably could have, pulled up her video of what she posted and of him and this, that, and the third. And so, like I said, people would not have had access to this situation if you did not put it out there for people to have. So he came home packing his stuff, he's leaving. And so then she goes on to create another video saying, I hope you guys are happy now. This wasn't put out for them to talk about on their platform and this, that, and the third. I was just showing you guys two sides of the story and blah, 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 blah. What two sides of the story? You're showing us that you nagged the hell out of him to where he can't go inside of y'all's home to lay down, relax, and go to sleep and actually get some rest. But instead, he has to opt into just sleeping in his car to get a moment's peace. So then you even showed us even further that you don't care about him and his emotions and what he's saying, because when he said all of that, you never once asked him, okay, one, what can I do to help you relax? What can I do to give you peace? What can I do to help you get some rest in the house? But instead you said, okay, I'm going to come sit next to you. No, clearly that's not what he wants. So yeah. And then you posted it on social media. There's a lot of stuff that gets posted on social media that irritates my soul, but don't be upset when platforms get wind of your situation and it's so crazy that they want to talk about it, and then your husband, whoever the other party is that you're talking about, finds out about it, and then they take certain action based off what you said in your video, based on what you posted. So she's upset. She's like, I hope you guys are happy. He's leaving me now. Like, this wasn't posted for him to get catch wind. He doesn't have any social media, this, that, and the third. So we're lacking accountability is what I'm hearing, is what I'm showing. And then you didn't learn your lesson because you're back on this internet talking about things that is going on in your relationship and the fact that he is leaving. If you did not put that video out to begin with, nobody would have known. He would not be leaving. He would probably still be trapped there. But I'm glad the brother caught wind of it so he can leave. I am so glad, okay? But even off of that topic, being mindful of who you give your information access to in your personal life, in your work life. Like I said, I had this happen to me before, where I was sharing information with someone I considered my best friend, and then she went to work and was cascading the information, about my pregnancy when nobody knew I was pregnant. She started cascading that information off to people that I used to work with in the department that I used to work with. Too much access, and you were talking about it with other people. So it's my fault for giving you that amount of information and that amount of access to me. We talked about it. I told her, if there's certain stuff that I don't tell you anymore, please understand this is why, and things of that nature. And so our relationship will not be the same as it used to before because of the breach. I'm not going to say breach of contract, but just the information that you decided to cascade to other people without my permission, and it wasn't your information to give out. So things like that. I pick and choose what information to give my mom because I know she's very strategic in certain things that come up. She'll use something that she heard in another conversation and bring it up then. Certain information people will not get from me. And I feel like it's very important that you are mindful of the information that you give to certain people, because depending on who that person is, they can try to use that against you or hold it against you based off what they know. And so I feel like if you're more strategic and you're more mindful of who you give information to, that gives less people more control. And I feel like it brings you more peace because not everybody knows your business, and then you're trying to, figure out like why this person knows this or if this person told somebody else and all of the things like that. So it just brings more peace as well. But honestly, with that woman and her situation, it's just a lot of people are so fixated on being right in a situation or looking like the better person, especially when it comes to social media, that you just jeopardized your whole entire relationship, your whole entire marriage. And so if he leaves you, perfectly fine. I mean, shoot, it sounded like he needed to leave you before because you can't bring him any peace, and he doesn't get peace in the environment in which he is supposed to have peace in, which is his home. And so you don't have any accountability, and you came back on the internet to spill more about the relationship and not learn from the situation of, oh, okay, I just let the whole entire internet into my relationship and this is what happened. Maybe let me stay off the internet for a while. Let me not post certain personal things about my relationship and what I have going on in my relationship on social media. You didn't learn your lesson. So some people have to learn the hard way, and most of the time you do have to learn the hard way in order to understand that, because not everybody is looking out for the best for you, and not everybody is on your side. And then depending on what you post on the internet, it can be so controversial that the person that you don't want to catch wind of it will catch wind of it. And so now you're back at square one rather than just having the conversation with them or just not posting it on social media at all. I feel like we live in a social media world where everybody wants to social media gaze. And I feel like she thought that she was going to get, either praise or some type of recognition from a female standpoint rather than all of us siding with the husband. Like, you really thought you was doing something here. You really thought you was cooking. You posted it. You didn't think he'd see it at all, because the first thing she came out of her mouth and said is he would have never saw this if the podcast didn't post or talk about it. No, it would have never been seen by anybody if you didn't post anything or record it and post it to begin with. Everything happens by a press of a button. You press the post button. And I always say this, and I didn't believe my parents when they said it, and I hope my baby, believes me when I say it, but anything and everything that you post online can and will be used against you at a later date, no matter how many times you deleted it. At any given point, somebody could have took a screenshot, somebody could have sent it to somebody, and it could have bounced around multiple people by the time you even thought about, oh, okay, a minute has passed and now I regret this decision, let me delete. Several people can already have that content, and just because you deleted it doesn't mean that nobody else has it in their archives. And so there's a lot of people that say, just controversial things, whether it's racist, sexist, homophobic, anything like that. They say that's this stuff in the past, and then when they get the platform, when they get, the fame and the following and all of this stuff, and then somebody pulls out that tweet that you posted in 2006. Now it's derailing your career, whatever you have going on, you're losing following, everything like that. And so, again, be mindful of what you post online, because it can be used against you at any point in time, because you never know who has the content. No matter how quick you think you deleted the content or the post or whatever you said, it can be used against you. So be mindful, y'all. Be mindful, because these people are ruining their own relationships and blaming it on the audience and blaming it on the people that utilize the content, but they're not taking accountability. If you are going to be like that, please understand that whatever you post out there can be used in whatever way that whoever's using it intends to use it. And if the person that you were talking about finds out that it's about them, now that's another bridge that you have to cross or burn. I mean, it's completely up to you as whether, did you have this conversation with them? Are you lying? Is another side of the story going to come out? Do you have to, now kind of defend yourself on the internet to people that you do not know and should not care about their opinion? All of these things. So, like I said, it goes for your relationship. It goes for your friends. It goes for people at work. It goes for people that are your friends in personal life and work with you. It goes for your relationship, all of the things. Be mindful of the access that you give to people, because depending on the access that you give to them, and depending on the person that they are, they're going to soak all of that up so that they can go report it to the next person, so that they can go spread it to the next person, so that they can use it in a later conversation with you. Okay, so That's all I have to say about the situation. I hate it for her, but it sounds like she didn't learn any accountability or anything from her situation. And hopefully dude got out of there, because she seemed like a headache to begin with. And if I have to sleep in my car, we got bigger problems, honey. We have way bigger problems. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys like this episode. I hope you guys are being mindful of the access that you get to people. Like, people will definitely have, limited access to my daughter when she gets here. Like, I'm thinking about cleansing my Instagram of followers and unfollowing people for them, like unfollowing me from people for them, so that they don't have to be like, oh my gosh, she unfollowed me, well, let me unfollow her. It's okay, I already took care of it. But yeah, hopefully you guys are mindful, because I do not want to be in a situation like that again. And once you find yourself in that situation, you will never want to find yourself in another situation exactly like it or anywhere close. Okay, but I love you all. Have a great week, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection, it's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.